Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to El Tel Cockerel. You have me, Jose, and we have the returning.
I'm back. The prodigal son returns. No, just kidding. But no, great to be back, everyone. Good to see you guys. Hope everyone's well. Good to see you, Jose. Miss you, buddy.
The prodigal son. I've heard it all.
That's hey. Um, I'm full of it all the time. But yeah, it really is good to be here. Hope you're well, my friend.
I am. A busy weekend for you, Cole?
Yes, very busy. Very busy. Wedding, Father's Day. Yeah, lots of stuff to do, but got it all in. Got it all in there. So.
Oh, you got it all in there? I thought you said, I don't want a violin.
Oh. Hey, that would work too.
But you're good, though. That's the main thing.
Yeah, I'm great, man.
Good.
Ready to talk some Spurs or football in general, even whatever we got today.
Football in general, because the title of the show is Waiting. So, yeah, because it says Waiting, that's exactly what we're doing. Is we're waiting. There are some news stories today, but like with other things, first of all, we're going to talk about I did a show yesterday. I'm not sure if you was aware, but I did a show yesterday where I discussed the football up until yesterday. And therefore it's only right that I do the same again today before we go into anything that's relatable to Tottenham. So in the comments, we've only got a couple of people, so you've commented already, and then we have DC from Leicester says, "Hi from Leicester. Last night I thought Gahey, Bellingham, and Saka were ringers playing for a Parks team. Lol." So he's been disingenuous there. Yeah. But yeah, saying that, there was some football yesterday. In order of the games were, the first one was Poland 1, Netherlands 2. Mickey van der Ven came on very late in the second half, or for Nathan
81st minute, something like that.
Yeah, came on quite late for Nathan Aki. I mean, did you watch any of this game?
I did not. No, I just knew that he'd gotten his first start in like a major tournament or whatnot.
So
Not
I
start,
watched
but
some.
first game time.
Yeah, I watched some of it, and if people rate Netherlands, I didn't. I don't think Netherlands. I thought I said this yesterday in comment on my show yesterday, because I did the show whilst this game was on, and then Adrian joined me, and so did Ellie, and the show went on for 3 hours.
Sounds about right.
So I missed the football, missed a lot of this game, but I did say on stream yesterday while we were doing the show, when I saw the lineups, I turned around and I said that I felt that Holland's bench looked stronger than the team that they put out their first 11, is what my thoughts were. The game panned out. I thought Poland played really well in the game, and I thought they were unlucky to come away with at least a point in my eyes. Lewandowski didn't play. He must be injured. Lewandowski didn't play. He must be injured. But the guy that they had play instead of him, Buska, he scored the goal, the equaliser for Poland, and he looked like a real handful. So they got a fine there. Zaleski, or they had a couple of players with similar kind of names. They were absolutely brilliant. They were really, really good for Poland. I wasn't impressed with Holland at all. I really wasn't impressed. And as I said, I felt that their bench is stronger.
What do you think that is? Is it because they just have like players that are kind of coming of age while other players are aging out of the team? They haven't like swapped them yet, or do you think?
No, I just think that the selection. I mean, obviously the manager from Holland knows what he's doing. I would have thought, but when I saw the selections that he had yesterday, I was just like, what? So I mean, I don't know whether you'll know the players, but I'll tell you the selections that he made yesterday. So when he's picked his lineup yesterday was, he went with Ake, Van Dijk, De Vrij, and Dumfries at the back.
Yeah, makes sense.
In midfield, he had Veerman, Schouten, and Reinders. And the front three were Gapco, Xavi Simons, and Depay.
All right, that's about what I would expect.
But on the bench, he had Bergwijn, Danny Blind, Frimpong, Gravenberch, Matson, Marlon, Weghorst, Wijnaldum, Joshua Zirkzee, Matthias de Ligt, and Mickey van der Ven.
Wow, that is quite a stacked bench.
Bench completely, mate. And that's why when I saw it, I thought to myself, hold on. He looks like he's got better players on the bench than what he got starting. So I mean, I looked at the bench and I thought to myself, de Ligt and van der Ven must be so unlucky not to be in that team. Joshua Zirkzee, I've never rated Memphis Depay, and Weghorst came on and scored the winner. But they got Donny Marlon and Ian Matson, who both play for Borussia Dortmund. Great players, very, very good players. They got Gertruda, who apparently we've been looking at or sniffing around, who can play right back, and Frimpong, who plays on the left for Leverkusen in the back five. So yes, they got Danny Blind, they got Spurver. They're stacked on the bench, and to me, I was just really surprised when I saw their bench and I saw the starting 11. And I said this live yesterday on the show. I was just like, hold on, some of their players on the bench are better than the players that got starting. But at the end of the day, it was Poland 1, Holland 2. Holland, Weghorst scored right at the end. I thought that hold on. What's happening here? Hold on.
Oh, everybody, no reason to panic. All is well. Jose will be right back with us.
Yes, Romania have just scored a second goal. I had Romania. I've got Romania as my dark horses to get out of the group. Only to get out of the group. And they've just scored their 2-0 up against Ukraine. Sorry, I had to dive away from that.
No, you're good.
So, yeah.
I thought somebody fell. I didn't know what happened. So I'm glad everything's good.
So Poland Netherlands, you didn't get to watch it, but
no.
That's my thoughts on that.
Okay.
But as I'm talking about that, before bringing you in, audio's here. Saying afternoon chaps in the chat.
What up, buddy?
David Clark says Poland deserved a draw without one of the best strikers in world football. The team looked full of enthusiasm and lucky to lose. It's exactly, I think, what I've just been saying.
Big up David Clark.
Shentam.
This made me laugh. I already read this. Jesus Christ.
Hey, bossman Jose Mourinho and Mr. Junior Assistant Colin. I hope you're both well today. Shentam.
I started. If you noticed me laughing earlier, it's because I read that. I was like, oh my god.
DC says Holland looked good defensively, and despite Depay looked like he'd eaten a dozen pies. Inner Hype says about 6 of those came from PSV's youth team.
Look at this. Scouting for us.
Good afternoon, good evening, Inner Hype. Nice to see you, mate. So that was the first game that was played yesterday, Colin.
Okay. It sounds like it was exciting, at least. Not a boring game.
Yeah, there's some players on my. I want to see Gertruda because apparently we've been sniffing and we're looking at him. So I wanted to see what he was about. But
no dice there.
Whether Gertruda doesn't come, I don't know because we're looking at another player that plays in that position. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. The second game that was played yesterday in England's group was Slovenia versus Denmark. Sorry, the Poland-Netherlands game. The second group game for that is tonight because in their group is France-Austria and that's tonight. So that was a different group. The England's group, the 5 o'clock match yesterday, my time, was Slovenia 1, Denmark 1. Did you watch that game?
Christian Eriksen? No, I did not.
Eriksen scored. Yeah, Eriksen scored.
Nicely taken goal.
Yeah, he took it really. It's a beautiful goal. Ain't the best goal of the tournament. Best goal of the tournament if you get a chance. I don't know whether you can see it now on Twitter or wherever you can see it. But the first goal of Romania-Ukraine today. That goal is goal of the tournament so far, and it will be hard to be beaten, I think. Slovenia-Denmark. What can I say about Slovenia-Denmark? I thought the Slovenia-Denmark game was a bore fest. It's interesting to see some of these teams, especially I'm going to say especially Denmark, because it's interesting to see that Denmark must be coming. If they're not at an end of an era, they must be coming towards it. Yesterday they had they played with a back three, so they played a 3-4-1-2 system. But you got Eriksen was playing there, Pierre-Emil Højbjerg, the trusted defense of Anderson, Christiansen, and Vestergaard all played with the back.
That was amazing.
It was a top goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was.
It's
Dragic in there celebrating. Alex and our boy too. In the
Dragons. The
celebration.
Dragons played well. He's playing up against Dvorchik, who plays for Girona, the Ukrainian. And you want to see in the second half, in the first half, his centre back partner. What's just happened?
What do you mean? Another goal? Another goal, I think. Oh, man. He scares the absolute piss out of me every time he does that. I'm just like, I don't know, Jose. I'm not there. What did just happen? Looks like, let's see. Did Romania score again? Let's see.
Romania have just gone 3-0 up.
Jesus, man. They are playing well, sounds like. I'm going to have to. The second half might be pretty boring, but I'm going to turn it on them.
They were one of my tips to get. I tipped them to get out of the group. Bloody hell. So,
look at that. Look at that, guys.
So Denmark, I found it a very boring game. I thought Benjamin Sesko played for Slovenia. So I was watching him, but I've got to be honest, I was more impressed with Spora, who was his forward partner for Slovenia, who wears the number 9.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he looked a real good player yesterday against Denmark. I was more impressed with Spora than what I was with Sesko. Sesko hit the post twice with 2 amazing shots.
Yikes.
2 amazing shots. But yeah, I was impressed with Spora. Was there a number?
Where does Supplies trade currently?
I don't know, but he looked a really good player. I must admit, I was really impressed with him.
But then you got to think tournament play though. That'll get you sometimes, make you look better than you are.
Yeah. Inner Hype says we tried to get Spora at Celtic. Who does he play for? Inner Hype, Spora, because he looked a really good player. I thought he looked better. To me, Sesko's obviously a lot younger, but I looked at the game because I wanted to see Sesko in the flesh, but I did prefer Spora. I thought he had a really good game. But yeah, so that finished 1-1 yesterday. Yeah, but I didn't know who did he play for. Is what I'm asking because I haven't seen his play for. You've got the cross for David Clark says the cross for Holland's goal unluckily came off the back of the defender's calf and deflected to Weghorst to score. Inner Hype says the Marine brothers, Man and Co-Man, are all good players. Audio says trust England to mess up your 1.5 goals, but I think it was messed up with Denmark. Denmark messed it up as well because Denmark were 1-0 up at half time, and the 1.5 goals was 1.5 goals in the first half. So that game, this game that we're talking about now, Slovenia Denmark messed it up anyway. Adrian, good afternoon, Adrian sir. I hope you are well. He says good afternoon to Jose, Colin, and et al., which means everybody else. Stein Chu is probably their most experienced striker, says in a hype. Both guys are telling me it's 3-0, but someone said it could be offside. It is 3-0. Short corner, Man dummied the defenders and scored. We tried to get Spora at Celtic. He's in a hype. He's 31 now, and he plays for Panathinaikos.
Oh, okay.
Matthew saying, isn't the Portugal game tomorrow? Yes, Matthew. And he says, big up, guys. Yes, Matthew, Portugal are playing tomorrow, but I'm only talking about yesterday's games and what we got to come in today because I can't get ahead of myself. So, but yeah, in that game, in that game, I felt that Højbjerg didn't do badly. He didn't play that badly. He wasn't the worst player on the pitch.
He definitely plays better for his national team than he does for club football. It's like the role that he plays is more tailored to how he actually plays. You know what I mean? I don't know. He seems to be asked less. I don't know. There's less asked of him, I think, for the national team.
Yeah, he didn't play badly. He did all right, to be honest, Carl.
Sweet. Hey, I'm checking.
Honest, he did all right.
Don't let Ellie hear you say that.
Oh,
just kidding.
Don't worry about Ellie.
Big love, Ellie.
Yeah, don't worry about Ellie. She's all right. You just leave Ellie alone. Ellie, her pain is nearly over.
We love you, Ellie.
And then Of course, we James, who loves Spurs, is here saying the Ukraine
Whoa.
keeper should have saved the second goal. I haven't seen goals 2 and 3, but I'm so happy Romania are winning. And then game 3 yesterday was Serbia England. Did you manage to watch that game, Colin?
No,
No.
no,
Have you seen
but
the goal?
I have seen the goal, and I expected Serbia to be. From what I heard, they weren't very threatening at all.
Serbia played well. Right. All I've got to say is, you know what the average height for Serbia was?
6'2", 3.
6'2" was the average height for Serbia, and bearing in mind they had Kostic from Juventus. He's 5'7".
Jesus Christ!
When you
So
average,
everyone else, yeah,
yeah,
no
when you
kidding.
average the team out, and he's 5'7", the team was 6'2" average. Now, I'm just going to give you some names, right? So you've got Nikola Milenkovic of Fiorentina. You got Kostic of Juventus. You got Sasa Lukic of Fulham. You've got Sava Milenkovic Savic.
Oh yeah, I remember when he was supposed to be the best player, like since top red.
Ex Lazio, right?
Yeah.
You got Dusan Vlahovic. They had Alexandra Mitrovic.
I love that guy.
They were able to bring off the bench Luka Jovic.
Good player. Real Madrid.
Dusan Tadic.
I remember him. That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Serbia have got some serious players, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to give it because, you know, I was waxing lyrical about Spain. For me, Spain have been the best in the tournament so far in their game that they played against Croatia. I mean, we haven't seen that game, but they've got two wingers. One's called Nicholas Williams and one's called Yamid Lamau, and they are dynamite. But anyway, without that, England won 1-0, obviously, yesterday. For the first 35 minutes, Colin, it was all England. They passed them off the park. They found pockets of space everywhere, all throughout the pitch. And England looked really, really good for 35 minutes. Then after that, Serbia came back into the game for the rest of the game. I don't know whether they threatened. I think Pickford had one save to make in the whole game, and that was from Dusan Vlahovic. So he had one save to make, and their goalkeeper made a brilliant save, tipping a Kane header onto the crossbar.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but then I'm looking at the game, and when I looked at the game, well, I watched the game live, and when I looked at the game and I saw the reaction after the game, I just thought to myself, what do people want? This is tournament football. This is tournament football. So, you know, at the end of the day, being tournament football, you got to ease yourself into the tournament. I thought Serbia are a really good test for England, and people are going mad on Phil Foden. And I'm like, my thoughts on Phil Foden is I thought Phil Foden played well. Phil Foden was given a job to do. Phil Foden ain't a left winger, but he was told to play on the left. And because Trippier is right-footed playing at left back, he was told to protect Trippier, right? So he was told to do a certain job. Defensively, he done really, really well, right? So he did the job that the manager asked him to do, but it wasn't the flavour of what fans wanted. Fans wanted him to be all out attack and like he plays for Man City. But they couldn't afford
England doesn't play like Man City plays, from what I mean.
But they couldn't afford to do it, Colin, because Trippier is a right footer playing at left back. So Foden had to do the covering for him, and the defensive side help defensively. And therefore, English supporters were just going mad, saying Foden was this, that, and the other.
Hard to please you English folks when it comes to the football.
When England were under pressure, and they were under pressure, right? When England were under pressure, right? Foden was screaming at people, "Pass me the ball. Let's hold on to the ball." So look after the ball, basically. Look after the ball. Because if we've got the ball, then they haven't got it. They can't attack us. and we can take the sting out of the game if we keep the ball. And I saw Foden doing this, but I saw other players around him not doing this. They kept giving the ball away, and the possession was going back to Serbia, and then Serbia were then going back on the attack again. So, to me, I think a lot of if people really know their football, right, Foden did a job yesterday, and that's what he was asked to do, and he did that job. And for looking after the ball, people that have played football know straight away that you always say to people, look after the ball. Because if the ball's in your possession and you just pass it around each other and you look after it, then the opposition can't attack you. The opposition can't threaten you because you've got the ball. Do you see what I mean? So I don't think you've done that badly at all. You just got Chris Peters is here saying, afternoon, gents. Good afternoon, Chris, sir. I hope you're well.
Hello, Chris.
You have Inner Hype says, Dennis Dragos was one on my scouting list. He notched the third goal. Audio is telling us, and he's quite right, Serbia's right centre back is Spurs Academy, Milos Velkovic. He came up alongside Cameron Carter-Vickers.
Yeah, I kind of thought he was going to be able to make it in the first team. I made years and years ago. But
James Los Spurs says Jude was everywhere. Rob Belcher, good afternoon, Rob. I hope you're well, sir. Says good afternoon, all you Dragosin lovers. Yes, I hope you're well, Rob. Chris Peters says the whole of the defence was right-footed yesterday, which it was. He says that Mark was brilliant at the back yesterday. He's talking about Mark Guehi.
I was going to ask how he did in his first.
He played really well. He played really well. You got loads of people. You're saying hello to loads of people, and they're saying hello. Well, one's saying hello back to you.
Big up, James.
And then Inner Hype says the player I like from Ukraine is Alexander Zubkov. Not made it onto the pitch. Ukraine also have the Romanian flag on their strip, which is a nice touch. Yeah, all teams have got it. So on it it says like the match date and all that. It says European Championship, the match date, and you've got both flags. Little bit of both flags on the middle of the chest. So all teams have got that. So yeah, going back to England, I didn't think, Colin, that they played too badly.
Yeah.
Although the stats,
as usual, people being a little harsh.
Yeah. Do you believe in stats? Because some people do, and they use it for their own devices. But the stats that came out from this yesterday is ever since they started collating stats in 1980 for European Championships, yesterday's game between Serbia and England produced the least amount of efforts on goal, or on par with when they first started recording stats in 1980, which was 11 chances, 6 to one team, 5 on the other. Although I think Serbia only had 1 on target, England had 3, but it was only 11 goal scoring chances.
Wow!
And that's the least amount since they started doing it in 1980. So I'm just giving you that stat because they threw it out there yesterday.
I like it. I like him. I like stats. But yeah, exactly what James just said. Take the win and move on to Thursday. That's exactly how I think y'all need to be with this. Just because, like you're saying, tournament football, first match, ease yourself in. Serbia are a good team. I agree with you and James here.
So in 10, the other stat was, in 10 European Championships, this is only the second time that England have won their opening match.
Oh, shit.
And they both come under Gareth Southgate. So sometimes you've got to be careful what you wish for. I mean, it's brilliant because if you're going to use the stats, some people use it for their own benefit, and then on another day they won't use the stats. So, but I'm just saying the stats that were being thrown out, it's not my team that I'm talking about now, but the stats that were being thrown out were a couple of these stats that I picked up on yesterday. That I just thought, okay, fair enough, Yeah. So that's Serbia versus England, mate. England get at least a point. If they win against Denmark on Thursday, they're through to the next round, to the last 16. If they get a point, you're more or less through, because the 4 best third place teams also get through.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Is that changed? Has that changed this year from the past? Have they changed that?
No, I think they've done it in the World. They did it in the World Cup as well, I think, didn't they? So they've done it to get more teams into the tournament.
I wish I paid more attention to international football. I need to start. I'm going to pick a team. I need to pick a team for this Euros. Follow them real close.
Spain.
Yeah. All right. I was going to say Romania, but
listen, I said Romania.
I know. I'm piggybacking off of your wonderful idea.
There's this competition that I'm in, right? It costs denarii to enter, but you score 1 point for a win and 1 point for every goal you score. All right. Sorry. You got 3 tiers. You got tier A, tier B, and tier C. You can pick 5 teams, but one has to come out of tier A, one out of tier B, and one out of tier C. But the other 2 can come from anywhere.
Wild card kind of, yeah.
Yeah, you score 1 point for a win in tier A and 1 point for every goal they score. In the B, you score 1.5 points for a win and 1.5 points for each goal. And in C, tier C, you score 2 points for a win and 2 points per goal. And there's 40 people in each league, and the top 2 point scorers in each league go through to the semi-finals.
Okay,
yeah,
sweet. Yeah.
So the teams that you select, you've got to run with them till the quarterfinals. So in tier A, I've got Germany.
Nice.
They scored 5 plus the 1 point for the win, so I've got 6 points for Germany. I have France in tier A, who played tonight.
Nice.
I have Belgium. In tier A, who've probably got the easiest group, who played tonight. My tier B team is Turkey, who played Georgia. And my tier 3 team,
Serbia,
is good old Romania.
Romania. Romania.
Who've scored me 8 points so far, because the win will get me 2, and they've scored 3 goals. That's 8 points.
I wondered why you were jumping up and down. Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Well, I did say it. I said I've got Romania to get out of this group.
I didn't know. Yeah, but I didn't know exactly what it was. Now it makes more sense.
A bit of ding dong on it. So we do it. There's 80 of us that entered the competition.
Hell yeah. Yeah. How do you? So I don't even know if I know 80 people that all like soccer, football. I don't even know if I have that many.
Oh, mate, no, this is England, mate. We've got loads. Everyone loves fucking football over here. So you know what I mean?
Yeah. It must be nice.
Yeah. So you've got Rob Belcher. He says, we have notoriously slow starters in major tournaments. In 1966, we drew 0-0 with Uruguay in the opener. And then you've got, look who it is. Hola, Senor Jose and Mr. Cole.
Yo,
it's Smith.
What up, Lee? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing good.
So, yeah, with England, I'm not going to badger England. I thought, at the end of the day, it is what it is. And, looking at the team yesterday, the substitutions he made, he brought Gallagher on for Arnold in 69 minutes. I'm not sure whether I'm not sure whether Arnold actually worked out for England. People said that he was more attacking. He played DM. He played defensive midfield with Rice for me, Arnold. And the energy that Gallagher brought, and he did. He brought energy. He came on and did what Southgate wanted him to do. Done all the closing down, all the pressing, all the things that we know that he is good at, that you can't take away from him. He did this when he came on. Jared Bowen came on for the last 15 minutes for Bukayo Saka. Saka in the first 35 minutes, he had the fullback on toast. He was sending the fullback for Burton's and all sorts. The fullback, he's asking the fullback, did he want mustard, ketchup on it, or what sauce did he want on it? Because he was sending them all over the shop. But then, after 35 minutes, the chap had Saka in his pocket. So from the 35th minute to when he came off, so that's what he came off in the 76th minute, which is half an hour. So for 40 minutes, their fullback then had Saka in his pocket. They brought Bowen on, and the first action that Bowen did was set up the cross for Kane's header. So you can say that the Bowen substitution worked. And then they brought Kobe Minu on for the last 5 minutes or so to replace Jude Bellingham. I think it did what it did, and the most important thing was England getting 3 points, which they did do. They got the 3 points, but you could have looked at players like Cole Palmer, Anthony Gordon. You could have brought these players on who would have given you attacking intent as well down the wings.
Yeah, interesting.
But the thing is, you've got Cole Palmer likes to play 10, Foden likes to play 10, Bellingham likes to play 10. You can't have all the 10s. Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see what he does in the next game. And you had Eze there as well. Eze could have come on and played down the wing for you.
Yeah, it's almost like Southgate doesn't know what his best team is or the system that he's trying to play. I don't feel like there's anything really defined. I don't feel like England's style of play is you think of teams like Spain and teams like, you can kind of see like the passing and the attacking. I don't know, but I just don't feel like that England has much of an identity, but that could just be myself. But it's under Southgate, it's been like pretty defensive, and then win by a goal or so. It's just, I don't know. Would you agree, or do you think I'm misreading the situation?
No. So I'm just looking. It's 3-0 to Romania. And do you know who's Romania's Ukraine's manager? Ex-Tottenham player.
Would it be?
He played up front with Andrei Shevchenko in the famous team for Dynamo Kiev.
So Pavlyuchenko?
No, before Pav.
Tell me.
The chat's going to beat you to it, I think.
Oh yeah,
there he is. Chris Peters is beating you to it. It's Sergei Rebrov. And I tell you what, he doesn't look like he's aged a bit. He looks as young as what he did back then when he played for us at Tottenham. So yeah, Sergei is the man in the dugout for Ukraine.
Well, that's a bummer for him. He's not having a good day.
No, he's certainly not. So bringing us on to our next banner is today's games. Well, the first game today is Romania-Ukraine. They're 3-0 up. Jose's a happy man. Jose's a very happy man, in fact, that they are 3-0 up. So yeah, we've got 3-0 at the moment for Romania versus Ukraine. I think there's roughly about 10 minutes or so left, not including the extra time or whatever they play. And then so it looks like Romania have picked up 3 points today. In a victory, seeing that the top two go through and the best place third, a victory and a draw, 4 points kind of gets you there, so to speak. But Romania, a victory straight away, absolutely impressive. If that remains that way,
yeah.
So, and that's Group E, and also in Group E, there is Belgium-Slovakia, which is the next game, which is on at 5 o'clock today. Is Belgium versus Slovakia. So Romania, Ukraine, Belgium, Slovakia is the group. Any thoughts on Belgium, Slovakia?
I don't know. Maybe Slovakia might. I don't want to say shock me because I'm kind of predicting this, but I don't think it's going to be a super easy game for Belgium. We'll have to wait and see. But I predicted it'll be harder for Belgium than I was initially thinking Belgium was going to walk it when he told me just the two teams. I don't know. It'll be harder than that. But Belgium will probably come out victorious.
I think Belgium in their group have got the best chance out of any group teams to score the most goals in their group games. I think Belgium have got an excellent chance of doing it. They've got a young man up front called Romelu Lukaku.
I was like, hold on. I'm pretty sure Lukaku plays striker for them. He's not young.
Yeah, no,
he's not young.
You haven't heard why I've said this. So you've got the young Romelu Lukaku, and if Romelu Lukaku ain't doing it, they'll bring the old hand Lewis Openda onto the pitch. So Belgium have got goals.
That's true. That's true.
Belgium have goals.
And not just from the striker position too. I mean, they've got players all over the pitch that are dangerous. So
yeah.
And
Inner Hype's also saying, I also have Valentin Michalia on my scouting list from Romania.
That was a beautiful pronunciation.
And James Lovespur says, is Jan in the team? I thought Colin, when I said this, who's playing today, I thought Colin's first bite was going to be Belgium-Slovakia, Jan Vertonghen.
Yeah. Is he still playing? I don't think he's still. I thought he had retired from the national team.
Jan's still playing.
Toby retired.
Toby retired.
Okay. So, yeah, I guess Jan probably is in the team.
Chadley's gone. Dembele's gone. So all the ex-Belgian boys that were associated with Tottenham Hotspur have now all retired from international football. But Super Yang is still there, and Super Yang normally plays in the first 11. So that'd be interesting to see when he plays there. But if he does, awesome. It'll be good to see him. And some guy called Kevin as well with Belgium. Yeah, but that Kevin fella don't play with Tottenham now, does he, James? So the link is to Tottenham is what we're saying about Super Yan.
Oh, man, I miss Chadley. You said Chadley. I got to talk about Chadley for a second. What a good impact player. Anyway. we can go ahead.
Chadles.
Yeah, we don't have players like that can change things off the bench anymore. We need that.
You need Chadley.
Is that orange Fanta? It is. The Fanta that you guys have there is far superior to the Fanta we have in the United States.
This is not. This is orange and mango cordial.
Ooh.
So you know the one that you mix with water?
Yep.
Yeah, I mix it with water. It's orange and mango.
Yeah.
I like the orange, pineapple, and lemon as well that they do.
I drank a lot of black currant stuff when I was there
yeah.
because we don't have that here either. So yeah, it's good flavor.
No, you have a fizzy soda. You have soda grape or whatever.
Yeah,
which is like black currant, but it's soda grape instead, and that's the nearest thing to it. But it's fizzy. Yeah, when I spent my time in America, I tried to stay away from all the sugary products because, and your Kool-Aid. Let's get a free liter jug of water and stick 6 sachets of Kool-Aid in there. And I'll tell you what, just for good measure,
the sugar
let's stick another bucket of sugar in there on top. And let's drink that and see why our kids are so big.
Well, and also everything's high fructose corn syrup here. We don't even put sugar in stuff like you guys do. We put high fructose corn syrup instead, and it's like fake sugar. Your body doesn't digest it right. I don't know. Anyway, I could go on, but you guys have your government seems to care more about you than ours does about us.
I don't know about that. The election's very telling at the moment. So yes, that's Belgium, Slovakia today. So there are 2 more games to look forward to for the people that get to watch them. Today's Monday, so I play football. So I will miss. I'll probably catch some of the Belgium game because I'm getting a lift tonight instead of walking it, and it takes me 40 minutes to walk. But instead of walking, I'm getting lift tonight. So I'll probably catch most of the first half of Belgium. But then I'll miss the second half. So people, enjoy your football that you're going to get to watch this evening or for the remainder of the day, and I hope it goes well for you. If you've had bets, right, so what I said to the crowd yesterday is I know people that like gambling and that, and they've been putting bets on 1.5 goals first half. So that means over 1.5 goals in the first half.
Yeah, two goals or more in the first half, right?
Well, yeah, so it's going to be 2 goals, but in the betting shops it's all it says 1.5. It doesn't say 2 or more, it says 1.5. First half only. And the first 4 games of the tournament paid out on the people were doing like 4-folds, an accumulator, and the first 4 games all paid out. So they had an accumulator of the first 4, and they all paid out. Steve D followed my advice yesterday. Well, it wasn't advice. I was just telling people what was going on. Steve D did it yesterday, and for Steve D, the first game yesterday would have given him it. Who played yesterday first?
Go, Steve!
So Poland, Netherlands. He would have got it in that game because it was 1-1 at half time.
Nice.
The Denmark and England games were both 1-0, so that wouldn't have paid it out because them 2 didn't get the goal 1.5. If he did it for today, then Romania wouldn't have paid out because Romania were only 1-0 up against Ukraine at half time. But the other good bet to have is both teams to score.
Yeah,
and then anchor it up.
Really good one.
But Ukraine haven't scored today, and neither did Croatia. Ukraine haven't scored yet, if they're going to score, but neither did Croatia. But every other game, both teams have scored.
Modric still plays for Croatia, right?
And he only got his 174th cap against Spain.
Oh man, yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Go Modric, he'll play forever.
Well, you didn't watch Spain play. The reason why I thought Spain were impressive is that their midfield was Kovacic, Brozovic, Modric. 174 caps, 102 caps, and 97 caps. So you've just got you've only got the matter of 371 caps, or 373 caps between 3 players there, right? The fact that Perisic also came on, and Perisic has got over 100 caps as well. Perisic did well when he came on, but he's got over 100 caps as well. It's just, you know what I mean? They've got so much tournament experience in the Croatian team.
Yeah.
They've lost in semi-finals of the World Cup and European Championship, lost in the semi-final of the World Cup and in the World Cup final. They have got so much, so much, and Spain made them look ordinary. I mean, in someone that was chatting, turned around and said, "When have you ever seen Modric look so ordinary and not be able to affect the game at all?" And that's what Spain did. So, to me, Spain's first game was really, really good. What I did also say is that Italy beat Albania 2-1, which I thought was a boring game. And I turned around and I said to people in the chat yesterday on the show that I don't believe that it will end up Spain 2, Albania 1. And I don't think it'll end up Croatia 2, Albania 1 when they both play Albania. I think both of them are going to tonk Albania. So, there we go. You've got...
There you go.
Shemtam is hashtag bring back Soldado.
I get it. I get the joke. Shemtam.
Mr. Shoki says England played Denmark on Thursday and may face Ericsson and Højbjerg. James loves Spurs says France tonight as well, which we will discuss. Did I do France Austria? I haven't done that yet. That's the next game.
Not quite yet.
Slovakia are maybe similar to Poland. Robert Brozovic is decent. Experienced side. Belgium bring the techers. Should make for an entertaining game. And Peter, our resident paramedic in Melbourne, says, "Hi all, 12:45 a.m. in Melbourne." Peter, Colin and I both hope that you are well. Inner Hype says there is a good chance Slovakia won't score either. And you also have Peter saying Spain are looking awesome.
I think he's trying to butter you up, Jose. He's trying to.
And the next game tonight is Austria versus France. Be interesting to see what France turn up. France drew in their last match last week. In their last friendly, they drew at home against Canada 0-0.
Interesting. I don't know. I know nothing about the Austria national team. Absolutely
nada. Niente. Nothing.
Zilch.
Did you just say them in 3 foreign languages? Did you just say nada, niente, nothing, zilch? 4 languages, Colin, you just used there. Fantastic. You multilingual person. Should come to Europe more often, Cole.
See, look what it does to a guy. Yeah. It'll change it quick.
Help out. So, yeah. Austria-France 0-0 for their last game against Canada. However, the French are many people's favourites to win this tournament.
Yeah, yes, I've heard that as well.
Mbappe's been injured, so it'd be interesting to see whether he plays tonight. He could only come on for 20 minutes against Canada the last 20. The French public were going mad and baying for blood. A bit like the English were when England lost their last warm-up game 1-0. The French were also baying for blood because they drew 0-0. So it will be an interesting game to see. Are you going to be watching any of this football at all? You're not, are you?
Yeah, no, I'm going to try to watch the Belgium match, or at least have it on. You know what I mean? I don't know how much I'll be able to.
Aren't you?
Yeah, but I'll just have it on one of my screens and just at least glance up at it occasionally. Yeah, so that'll be nice. And then what time's the France? What time's Austria versus France?
8:00 my time.
Yeah, I'll be able to put that on too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there are your games for tonight, Mr. Cole.
Boom, boom. I might have to have some bets myself just to make it all interesting. Give me something to do while I should be working. Check scores and such.
Lamine Yamal is a talented young player, but so's Nico Williams. So's Pedri. They've got a lot of young talented players. Peter Kagaya says, no, I call it as I see it. And Shemtam says, that Rosetta Stone Christmas present working wonders for Mr. Colin.
Yeah. Big up, Shemtam.
So, Colin, tomorrow you're off, aren't you?
Yeah.
Are you aware that this is all happening tomorrow?
No, I'm not. I was gonna. Yeah.
Here's your show for your tomorrow. Afternoon. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You can still do the show.
I was gonna say, yeah, I think I will. Call-in show.
Do your show, and yeah. You can do your show because I'm working. But yeah, you can do a show if you want. But there you go. The Premier League fixtures get released tomorrow at 9:00 British summertime. So that obviously is for you 3 a.m. in the morning. So you will wake up to the news of who Tottenham have got. I said yesterday it would be interesting because people from all clubs would be looking out to see who they've got, so they can start plotting each month where what games they've got to watch and go to see, and what's coming up, what's going to be the hard months, the easier months, and stuff like that. So the plotting for the season starts tomorrow because it's the 24 and 5 fixture releases tomorrow at 9:00 in the morning. So is everyone looking forward to it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Like you
Yeah.
said, you can start to plan things. If I decide I'm going to plan a crazy trip overseas, I know when to go, when I can catch a match. I'll plan it better this time. I'm going to make a Spurs match this season. I swear it. I just got to pick one that'll be easy to get tickets to. I'll have you help me with that.
I think they're all going to be easy to get tickets to, aren't they?
Yeah, as long as it's not like North London Derby or something like that. Whoa, Daniel's in the house.
Yeah, Daniel says big up, people. So big up to you, Daniel. So yeah, so the 24-25 get released tomorrow.
Sweet.
So that's interesting. Right. So we've now come to part of the show where I'm going to talk about. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 banners, because this is news that's on Shitter today. And the first one is Tottenham Hotspurs have had a 40 million bid rejected for Ivan Toney. Brentford wants 65 million for the striker. Spurs already have a verbal agreement over personal terms with Toney. This has been broken. Well, sorry, this has been. I got this from transfer.com, but I will say that if you look at Shitter, all over Shitter, it's broken from different sources saying exactly the same thing. So, Colin, Ivan Toney.
Yeah, I mean, if that's true at all, I say we just go and pay the 65 million. Am I crazy? I just want it done really bad. Like I honestly don't care who we get as this try. Tony, I'd be almost as happy with Tony as I would be with somebody like Isak. Not quite, obviously not quite as happy. I think Isak is the better player to anybody who has eyes. But Tony was on fire before all of this stuff happened with the gambling and everything. I feel like his form really tanked after all that. The time on the sidelines didn't help us, either. But yeah, get it done. 65 million. Jesus Christ, pay it. I just want somebody in, and I want them to have the full preseason. And I want them, learning the system.
Right. So what I'm going to say to you, Cole, is privately send me your address in the States, and
okay.
I'll send you some medication. Right.
You don't
Colin,
want him?
How many times have we done shows? Right.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that you listen sometimes. Sometimes you might listen to what I have to say.
I always do. Yeah.
Were we after a Brentford player last season at the start of the transfer window?
Raya, yeah, of course.
Oh, so we were after Raya. How much did they want for Raya?
40 something.
Okay. And we
walked away
and said no. We
yeah.
walked away, said no, take your meds and that. And then what happened to him? He went to Arsenal, right? Yeah. And they couldn't afford him, so they had to pay a loan. But the agreement thereafter was to pay something like 20 odd million for him. Mm-hmm. So Tony's in the same position. Tony has 1 year left on his contract, right? So Brentford might want 65 at the start of the transfer window, but everyone has walked away from 65 million, or for whatever reasons have walked away. So Tottenham, if this is true, and Tottenham have done the groundwork about agreement over personal terms, and they've done if it's true, that is, I'm not saying it is, people, but if they've done all the groundwork on it and all it is a matter of both the clubs to agree a fee, then I can see his fee coming down something along the lines of 40 million.
That's more palatable.
Sense. Yeah, it makes more sense than let's go and pay 65 million for him.
So, okay, at the beginning of the transfer window, and be honest, did you think that we were going to walk away with a striker that was I think Ivan Toney's a really good striker. Obviously, last season didn't reflect that. But did you think we were going to get somebody of that caliber?
Right. So, for me, with Ivan Toney, right, and I said this on a previous show that we did, right, you've got other people that have been found guilty of gambling offences, and I'd say the gambling offences that some of the others have been found out for, they're more influencing games. Tony's was just stupid. Tony's just betting on matches, right? But the others, the other people that have been found guilty, they're influencing games, taking yellow cards on purpose, stacking against their teams week in, week out. Not like the odd game here and there, but actually stacking, so putting wagers against your own team and stuff like that. Yeah. Now, The one thing with the other two is the other two have been found guilty within the last 12 months their offences have been committed. So they're very fresh. Tony was found guilty over 13 months ago. Yeah? So he was found guilty over 13 months ago. And since then, we don't think he's transgressed since then. Now, gambling is an illness. It's an addiction. We all know this, and it's one that he's going to need help with. Obviously, his club have given him help. His friends and family must be giving him help as well. And he must be helping himself. But his head hasn't raised over the parapet since he was found guilty of these offences over 13 months ago. And the reason why I say that is because he was banned for football, right, for, 7, 8, 9 months or whatever it was, because he'd been found guilty, but then they banned him, right? And then if you include his period of coming back to play, which was 6 months because he played in January, so you add them 5 or 6 months to the ban length, that gives you well over in excess of 13 months. So he's been clean as far as we're aware for more than 13 months. So therefore, if it is a fact, and I'm sure that Tottenham now will do due diligence and stuff like that. And if they do the due diligence on him and that, and they believe that he fits into the team and he won't upset the apple cart on that, then 40 million for a striker that's Premiership proven is an absolute snip. You're not talking.
Oh, I was muted. I've been muted for a while. I wondered why. That's hilarious. I was typing a lot, so I muted myself. Sorry. But
sorry, just before you carry on, I want to say hello to some people here because you can talk because you're keeping quiet. Arsenal met Tony and decided they didn't want him because of his attitude. Shemtam says, would be great if the North London derby and the Merseyside derby would be the first games of the season. Start the season with a bang bang. Inner Hype says, absolutely bonkers. Rob Belcher says, if we are spending 60 million plus on a player, I hope it's not Tony. Eze, yes, please. Nick's here saying, morning, Nick. Hope you're well. Ben Kaufman, afternoon, everyone. Today is the day of the Dragons. House of the Dragons season 2 starts today, or started today in America. So it starts here. And enter the Dragosin against Ukraine was today as well. So you're quite right, Ben. Today is the day of the Dragons. Inner Hype says, I could build 2 teams for 65 million.
Of course you could. All the hidden
Daniel
gems.
Coy says, Tony has an ego, so do about 90% of most footballers. As long as he's smashing it for your club, that's all you should care about. Inner Hype, Romanian lads are in tears of joy. Dragosin was incredible. And I've recorded it, so I might be able to go and watch it back because I have recorded it. But I'm so happy that the victory is for Romania because I've already explained why I needed Romania to win. So I'm over the moon, man.
Hey, Jose, Cabarro, $5.
I'm wondering whether I'm going to get texts from the boys to say, hold on, are you a ringer or what? Because Romania were in the tier 3 teams. You said Inner Hype, of course you could, but for me, 65 million is the price of a top tier striker. Chris Agenbar is here, says, big up Jose and Colin. Big up, Chris. How are you, sir? Hope you're well. And Mr. M, are you sober, Mr. M? That's all I'm going to ask. I hope you're well, Mr. M, but are you sober? Because I think you'd been out on the lash all night and daytime, came into one of the shows and made a couple of comments because you said you'd been lashed up. So I hope you're well, Mr. M, and hope life's treating you well. He's saying, hopefully we won't L play Dragosin now. L plate, is that L plate? L plate Dragosin now. So L plates are for people that are learner drivers.
Oh.
So you got to have L plates. I think that's what he says. And look who it is. It's the madman himself, the Cobber King. It's David Shear.
Are you just waking up, David? You must be.
Early. No, they're 7 hours ahead. So it must be coming towards 11 o'clock in the evening for David.
Okay.
Where David's at. So yeah, it must be 3 minutes to 11.
All right.
Coming up to 4 o'clock. So yeah, it must be 3 minutes to 11. So yeah, hi David. Nice to see you, mate. And Daniel Coy says Nicholas Anelka's had an attitude problems, but still a quality striker though. So yeah, so that's the news.
And you guys don't think that Dimitar Berbatov had a big ego, had sort of an attitude? You guys don't think that? I know that Adebayor wasn't everybody's cup of tea, but he did too. And it's I don't know. It doesn't always have to be disruptive, to the team as a whole. But anyway, I could see why some people don't want him. But I just don't think that his transgressions are that big of a deal. But anyway.
Mr. M, look, it says, "Lol, yes, I'm well, been partying all weekend. I'm a DJ, so been so busy."
Oh,
fantastic,
nice,
Mr. M. I hope
glad you're getting some work, man.
I hope you've been getting some good gigs, and I hope your gigs continue, mate. And I hope the weather comes out for your gigs as well. If you're doing open airs, if you're doing night ones, and in clubs and that, then you're not going to see the light of day, are you? But if it's open air ones you're doing, I hope the sun comes for you, mate. David Shear, Colin, you never get Aussie time, mate.
That's for Jose. He does that. I should just leave that to him. I should ask him what time it is.
All in the chat. It's only 7 hours. Just got to remember, whatever I'm ahead, he's 7.
All right.
Yeah,
so a nice 13 hours.
And Peter's 9.
Okay.
Peter, I still think we are getting players that nobody has heard of. And
sweet.
Mr. M says, top men, yeah, I've got a few festivals coming up. Big ups, fantastic.
Hell yeah, dude. Nice.
And there's a big up from Peter to David. Right, so that's the first bit of news that we've got for that I saw today, just before coming on, because I've been working today, so I had to just quickly scan shitter and see what I could find. But that is being reported in lots of different places. I just took the first one, but I noticed it was everywhere. Second one that I've got is Tottenham are interested in Riccardo Calafiori. Spurs have asked Bologna and the defender's entourage for information on the player, which Juventus has been talking about for some time. So, Riccardo Calafiori, 23-year-old.
13-year-old. I was like, hold on, shit. We're scouting young.
23-year-old centre back, left-footed player. Played the other night for Italy versus Albania. They played 4 at the back the other night against Albania, and they played Bastoni at the back with Calafiori. Calafiori and Bastoni are both left-footed and play on the left side of the centre-back positions for their clubs. Although with Bastoni, they play a back 3, and he's a left centre-back of a back 3. But it was interesting because Calafiori played on the left of centre-back for Italy, and Bastoni played on the right. So Calafiori is a superb player.
I'm watching a compilation of him right now, and he just absolutely crushed somebody. That's he seems.
But he's good on the ball as well. Very, very good player.
Yeah, I see him high up the pitch. You know what I mean? A couple of times, like he.
But the price being touted for Calafiori was something ridiculous. It was 25 million or something for Calafiori. However, if Calafiori shows up and plays the way he played against Albania in the next, however many games Italy are in the Euros for, then his stock is going to raise, and he'll be cost a lot more than that to an English club. Because what I will say is what I keep saying all the time is that I cannot understand why. For me, it's not. It doesn't make economical sense. But Italian teams, if they're selling between each other, but Italian team to Italian team, you don't pay the kind of fees that you pay over here for buying a player from Italy. Spanish teams sell between each other, and it's never as dear as if an English person was going to buy. The German clubs sell between each other, and it's not that dear. So someone like Calafiori may be obtainable, and I'm saying maybe obtainable by Juve or another Italian club for circa, 30 million euros. But once an English club comes in, you're talking about 40 to 45 million euros. The money goes up by at least half of what it's worth and more.
I think they know that they can get the money, so why not milk them? You know what I mean? They have like an agreement with each other to. Yeah, it seems like it's probably a conscious thing. There's a lot more money, I think, to play around with in the Premier League, and other leagues know it. And I think that they just want a piece, and the best way for them to do that is with higher transfer fees. I don't know. Good question. Maybe I'm being a little maybe I'm thinking too much into it. Maybe it's not a conscious thing, but it sure seems like it.
Yeah. So you've got Mr. M says Tony or Eze. If we could only take one. I'm not going to give. I want both. If both are obtainable, I'll have both. Ben Copper says, "Give me Calafiori." Peter says, "What's the weather like there, Dave?" Oh, so they're all talking to each other. He's a right back, ain't he? No, he's a centre back, left-hander side. What happened to the Rafinha rumours? Nick, we are going to be rumoured with 400 players. You know, it's just the done thing. We're going to be rumoured with so many players, but you don't know what smoke mirrors, and you don't know, what cloak and
And what
daggers going on.
Paratici's cooking.
Yeah. So
Paratici's
at the end
going
of
to
the day,
float all the names out there.
like I said on another show, how many players were we linked with last year? The heavy links. And the heavy links were David Raya and Jean-Claude Todibo were the heavy links last season.
Mm-hmm.
We ended up with Vicario, who no one knew nothing about, and it was just done overnight. And then we ended up with Mickey van der Ven. Mickey van der Ven was talked about, but it was all about Todibo. All about Todibo.
Yeah, Van de Ven was clearly the second choice option to everybody. I mean, like that's how it was.
Yeah, they both were. Yeah, Vicario van der Ven were second choice options to everybody, and they were the cheaper options. And there was tight-fisted people being called names and all sorts, and they've ended up being two good players. So Rafinha, it's just that they're going to be linked with so many rumours. It's beyond belief. You don't know what's right and what's wrong, and you could end up buying players that have not even been rumoured. In a Hype says, I always liked Tony. We had him in the boardroom to sign at Celtic, but it fell through. Daniel says, I agree, Colin, mate. People can't like Tony.
People act like Tony is a criminal.
Like Tony's a criminal. Even criminals get a second chance. He put on some bets and he thinks he should be a better club than Brentford, which is right. I don't see the problems. And then
big agree, Daniel.
Ben says, I'm a huge fan if you haven't already heard. This is about Calafiori.
Calafiori, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's not hot here. Okay, right. So 25 million is extremely cheap. Yeah, it is. It is. 25 million for Calafiori all day long from Mr. M. In a Hype says, Bologna buy these players, like buy these guys from Basel for usually a couple of £1 million. Calafiori is an actual challenge to VDV and will beat him in certain aspects.
Why not start together with him ahead of Romero?
Well, do you know what? Interesting. Van der Ven, yesterday, for people that saw the matches, Van der Ven came on and replaced Ake. And Ake and Van der Ven both played left back for Holland yesterday. So the more you see Van der Ven playing there, the more there's going to be an argument from the fans saying, well, Van der Ven can play that position. Dragusin can come in and play alongside Romero at times, so yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens because Mickey van der Ven has been used by Holland as a left back. So, but Calafiori, would you be interested in Calafiori?
Hell yeah, all day long. Even for, like you're saying, that 40, 45. I think in today's market, I don't think that's unrealistic.
Calafiori is worth 40 to 45 comfortably.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah,
to me, he's comfortably worth that.
Yeah, I would tend to agree.
David Shear is on it today. Look, let's go for Tonali and Paqueta while we're at it then and make it a trifecta.
Hey.
No gambling in here. Come on, Mr. Cobber. No gambling in here. Right. The next bit of news that came out, it's been doing this around for a few days, but there's another link today, is Tottenham are interested in Real Sociedad winger Takefusa Kubo. And that's been reported by the Mundo Deportivo via Sport Witness. Are saying this. Do you know about Takefusa Kubo?
A bit about him. I believe that he is a Japanese international, if I'm not mistaken. And he is a strong, kind of shorter in stature, strong dude, bald, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, pretty good player too.
Yeah, he is a pretty good player.
Winger. I knew that before. It says that right there in the headline, but I knew that already.
So Real Madrid bought him when he was 16, and they loaned him out, and he's been on loans ever since. And then in the end, they ended up selling him, Takefusa Kubo, and now he plays for Sociedad, but he plays with a guy called Mikel Merino. He plays with Martin Zubamendi. I can't remember what the other winger's called there, but Real Sociedad have got an abundance of talent in their team and in their squad, and they only made the Europa League this year. So it could be that some of these players want to step up, whether it be playing Europa League football or any type of football. I think the Premier League would be an attractive league for some of these boys to go and play and apply their trade in. I certainly think Tottenham could do no worse than raiding Sociedad. And there's a fair few players at Sociedad that would really, really improve us. And Takefusa Kubo, although he wouldn't be top of my list from the Sociedad players, he certainly would be an upgrade to what we've got at the moment at the club. So yeah, so that's another link, and you've got people commenting about that. So you've got Daniel Coy says Kubo is quality. Inner Hype says Kubo has a hood full head of hair. Colin, he's not
I
bald.
stick my hands up in the air. I don't. I definitely wasn't.
Made or Celtic or someone like that. Inner Hype says I've been following Thiago Motta for years. He signed Lewis Ferguson from Aberdeen, so I watch Bologna every week. David Shear, let me just go down. Right, David Shear says, is anyone worried about Tony's goal drought when he came back? No, I'm not worried at all. Because when Tony was firing for Brentford, David, my thoughts were that he was firing for Brentford when Vissa was firing, and so was Mbeumo. But not only has Tony's come back, and he hasn't had the benefit of having a run of playing with them two alongside him, because them two were the feeders for him. But they were either out injured, and Mbeumo was out injured for ages, and so was Vissa. And I think they got to play probably the last 2 or 3 games together, but not for a full 90 minutes. So I think that affected all 3 of them, because all 3 of them have been off the ball because they've been out through suspensions and injuries. So, I'm not worried about it at all. Class, what did they say? Form is temporary, class is permanent. So, yeah. Tony, put it this way. Whoever he goes on to play for, he will score goals.
Oh, absolutely.
He will score goals. And I think there's a few people that say that Tony's attitude, a la what Mr. Mourinho said, we have too many nice guys at this club. We need people who are CUNTs, is what he said. Yeah. He said that in his video. You need people that are CUNTs.
Intelligent ones.
Yeah, intelligent ones, but they have to be CUNTs. Tony would fit that mold.
Oh, yeah, he would fight. There's a lot of fight in that dude, and we could use it. We really could.
Yeah. So, that's Takefusa Kubo. Number 3 of what I see today is Tottenham Hotspur midfielder Giovanni Lo Celso is back on the radar of Lazio ahead of a summer window. Since completing his 55 million move from Betis, Lo Celso has only started 17 games for Tottenham. So Lazio seem to be back in the mix for Lo Celso, according to reports.
That's a team that I forget exists a lot of the time.
Lazio?
Yeah, and also I just, whenever I do think of them, I have it's probably unfair because every fan base has some crazies, but I also think of their, aren't they a pretty there's a very extreme supporters group, I think, or you know what I mean, and with that associated with that club, if I'm not mistaken.
A lot of the Italians have got extreme supporter groups.
Yeah, that's okay though. It's not the whole team.
The ultras.
Ultras. That's the name.
But a lot of the Italian team have been named or coined ultras. Their supporters have been coined ultras. So it's every team has them. So because you've got I don't know. So does that mean that Dortmund, when they've got the yellow wall, does that mean that's all their ultras?
No.
Do you know what I mean? So,
no.
So of Tottenham supporters, they're not called ultras, are they?
No.
Arsenal supporters are not called ultras. It's just a name that's been given and coined to teams support the fans that follow teams in Italy.
Yeah, I just had heard specifically about Lazio that there was maybe some I don't know, just like not super cool stuff coming from their fans. But like you said, that happens everywhere. That's just it was just some super duper right wing stuff. But again, not to get into politics. I'm sure, but they're a pretty good team, right? Like we can't, every year they're top half of the table, if not top.
Yeah, they're top half of the table, Lazio. They've had good times, but like everybody else, they've had good times, but now they've had to sell players. And like a lot of the Italian teams, that you've got to sell to survive. And Lazio have had to sell players. So, at the end of the day, you got to live within your means out in Italy, and that's what Lazio do. They day to day they've got to live within their means.
Yeah,
if a player like Lo Celso fits them, then so be it.
Yeah, might be perfect. Might be perfect for them, and it gets them away from us. What do you think we're going to get back for him out of that 55 that we paid?
No, we're not going to get 55. No. I think, right. My personal opinion is Lo Celso is worth at least 30 million, right, in the open market. But we're not going to get 30 million for him. But I don't see no reason why we can't get 20 for him.
Yeah.
And there's no reason why we can't get 20 million for him. But what we'll get, I don't know. At the end of the day, it's just about moving on players, right? And when you move on the players, it's bringing other players in. So if you are going to move on, Højbjerg, if you are going to move on Lo Celso, that's 2 midfielders being taken out of your team. And if you're going to have to bring at least one midfielder in there, because you can bring 2 midfielders and still have Bergvall and some of the youngsters padding up the squad because they don't have to be named in the 25. However, I think the ins and outs, the next story that I've got, it works out on ins and outs. If you're going to lose players, you're going to have to bring in players. And what you want to do is you want to bring players that are upgrading what you're releasing. So if Lo Celso does go, then I'm hoping that Tottenham then get a midfielder that's going to be better than Lo Celso. So if we're getting rid of Lo Celso and we're saying we're going for Eze, then to me, that could be seen as an upgrade in Premiership football.
I agree. No, I completely agree with that. Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Before I go into the next one, you have got Jazz Fusion. It says greeting, chat.
Yo, what up,
Hi,
Jazz?
It's been a while. I hope you're well, sir. I hope you are well, you and the family. I hope everybody's well in your household. Then we've got Dinner Hype says, so Miofsky would be Santiago Jimenez's replacement. Because there's been talk about Jimenez. It's all gone quiet. But they said that Jimenez has said yes to Tottenham. Deal's been struck. And that went quiet. That was announced about 4 weeks ago. And that's all gone quiet. So when Nick talks about Rafinha, okay, so they didn't say Steele's been struck with Rafinha. But this is what I'm saying. You're going to be linked with so many players.
And I think that's on purpose. I think that we have players lined up in case dumb shit happens and stuff falls through. I think that we want to have other players lined up that we can quickly continue the deal. You know what I mean? Continue with the deal on, if our main thing falls through. Isn't that supposed to be Paratici's thing? Because he has like 8 deals going on.
Can I just say it was a fantastic terminology? What did you say? Dumb shit.
Yeah. In case some dumb shit happens, in case some dumb shit happens.
We have an educational channel here. There's always different ways of describing and different ways of wording anything we want to say. Keep watching.
This is that's an educational channel for sure.
Yeah. Daniel Coy says we would be lucky to get 20 million for him. He's never fit other than for Argentina.
His little cameos this season looked nice, but obviously those were little 5-10 minute spurts here and there.
And we have La Reina, the Queen. Hello, I'm here on a bus going to the Spurs Stadium to meet Daniel Levy. Any messages for Daniel Levy from you, Colin?
Yes, I would say get a hair transplant with all your money. If you had hair, you would be more approachable and people wouldn't think you looked like a Bond villain. And also let the footballing people take care of the transfers. Boom. That's all.
There you go, Ellie. Can you do that all for Colin? And if he doesn't do it, tell him he's a dumb shit.
Yeah, you could say that. See that phrase works for everything. You could call someone a dumb shit. You could say that some shit is dumb. It's a good phrase. It's a good phrase. Dumb shit.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
She says that she's having afternoon tea, and signing Eze while she's there. David says, night all, and thank you, Jose, for the Tony explanation, Clobber. Smash the likes and sub, please, from David Shear. David, good
Big up, David.
night, my friend. I hope
Night,
you sleep
buddy.
well. Have a nice rest, mate, and gear yourself up. Batteries recharged for tomorrow, and we go again. Cheers, David. Well done, mate.
See you, buddy.
Jazz Fusion. Medical issues galore, but I'm still upright and vertical. Much like my internet, I have to cut in and out. I hope you do. I hope you do feel better. I hope you do feel better, Jazz Fusion. I always wish everybody the best health-wise. Health is important. It's a one-time gig. Sure, I don't have to educate everyone on that, but yeah, it's a one-time gig, and I hope your health does get better and restores itself, and that you become 110%, my friend. Daniel Coys is telling me to. I don't speak like that, Daniel. I'm having afternoon tea signing Eze again, and then she says, David, woo. Right, the next story that we've got, or that I've found on Shitter today, and it's the last one that I found, is Tottenham are showing interest in AS Monaco right back Vanderson. One of the options only if Emerson Royale leaves the club. Not as easy as Monaco want that 40 million fee.
It's a lot of cheese, and I don't know anything about the fella. I have heard this link, so I probably should have checked it out before. But I have heard that we were linked with this guy. For one, he just has a cool name, Vanderson. That's hard to forget. So I have heard the rumor, but I haven't seen much of him. I don't know. Monaco, I know they had that issue with their owner, and they went from being like a team where the owner pumped in lots of cheese to they had to sell a bunch of the best players. I don't know where they are. I don't know where they finished in the league last year, even. But yeah, I mean, 40 million for a right back. If he's that good, he's that good. But I personally have trouble seeing it. Let me look him up. Bear with me here, everybody. Let's see what he's got. Brazil. He's a Brazilian. That's pretty sweet. Let's check it out. You're watching me live watch a video about Vanderson. Let's skip all this dumb shit at the beginning. Technically, he looks pretty good. Just in like the two things I've seen, I have never seen Emerson look that good on the ball. We'd be trading one Brazilian for another, and this one is one where Jose wouldn't have to worry about his passport and worry whether he was really Brazilian. This guy looks. He plays ball like he's Brazilian. Ooh. Jose, you're back.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
Oh no, you're good. I'm literally watching a compilation video on this Vanderson fellow right now. I had no idea that he was Brazilian. That's cool. But do you think 40 million? That seems like a lot of money for a right back.
It won't be 40 million for him.
Okay, cool.
It won't be 40 million for him at all. This is, as I said, this has come off shitter. It won't be 40 million at all.
I was gonna say that's a lot of cheddar. I knew that they were in trouble with money kind of for a while, but
I think it's going to be around the same mark if Emerson goes. If Emerson gets sold, then it'd be around the same kind of ballpark figure. So you like for like type thing.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was telling the viewers too that you wouldn't have to worry about Vanderson's passport because he actually, the little bit I've seen of him, he plays like he's Brazilian. He doesn't have the.
Well, they're saying that if the scouting network have done the work, and this is a name that's been coming out lately, then he can invert and can play that position and would provide competition for Porro. But we have Senor Collison in the house.
Yes, very
40 million backup. I would keep Emerson. I would see it no way different coming from you, Mr. Collison.
I'd be worried if it was. Yeah.
I hope you're well on this Monday afternoon, Nick. I hope you and your family are all well this Monday afternoon. Daniel Coy says, tell Daniel leave it to piss off, not you, Jose. So Daniel Coy's Ellie is asking you to tell DL to piss off. And Ellie says, my one-time gig with early damage from rough ladies I played against. But hey, Eze is coming to the famous and the best club in the world. Jazz says, hi, he is Ellie. Levy cough up the clause money. Daniel Coyes, I'm not about keeping Emerson Royale. I want a right back who can actually challenge Porro for his place, which Emerson can't. So that's the comment coming in from Daniel. So, yeah, so they're talking about this, Colin, as a straight replacement. So it's like a like for like in the sense of the monies. I'm not saying like for like player. Positional wise, they probably play in the same position, but they are different types of players.
Very much so. Vanderson's
they-
more of a dribbler. He's a very good dribbler from the little bit that I've seen in this little video here. Very comfortable on the ball, carrying the ball forward, and that would be great in that inverted role where he would have to step into the midfield. It'd be nice.
Yeah.
He also finds himself in shooting positions quite often. I like that as well because you know how our team, we kind of, the goals sort of come from everywhere and everybody has to chip in. He definitely could do his part there as well. Oof. Yeah, I have a little highlight video. The highlight video looks good, but I could probably make an Emerson Royale video that looks really good too. So it wouldn't be this long, but
so I found another link just now, which I'm going to enter. But in a hype, if he's still here, we'll probably talk about this. And that is this one. I'll let you read it.
Ooh, sorry, I just watched him go in and out like three. Oh my god, he's so good. Anyway, I'm watching him play against French teams. I have no idea how good the opposition is here, but he looks good. And I always say that you can only judge team. You know, he can only play against who he's playing against. So, but yeah, so Tottenham has interest in signing Amadou Haidara from RB Leipzig this summer. Haidara has a release clause of around 25 mil, and that's valid starting June the 30th. Sweet. Except I don't know who that is, but we're in for another right back. That's cool. And 25 million sounds a lot more like what I was hoping to spend on a right back than 40. So I do like that. I will have to, though, do some scouting. If you could talk for a moment while I'll scout him real quick, I'll tell you who I would rather have.
Just trying to see what this says on him. Right, so we've got some other news coming through. Haidara, I've seen Haidara play before. I can't remember his previous club, but Haidara has played before.
He was at Red Bull Salzburg, and then now he's at RB Leipzig. It says.
Where was he before Salzburg?
That I don't know. 1 second.
Okay, so Haidara. So that's within the Red Bull group.
Yeah, he's done his rounds in the.
Okay, so he's done it within the Red Bull group.
So he also.
What position does Haidara play?
What position does he play? Right back, I believe.
So he's a right back.
Yeah.
So now we're being linked with a load of right backs. Now, when we're getting linked with a load of right backs, right? If that's the case, then it kind of tells
midfielder.
Me
Sorry, midfielder.
Oh, okay.
I was just looking at the position he was in this video.
I was going to say, if they're telling you right back, if you're saying another right back, then it's kind of telling me that the Emerson deal must be close.
Yeah, no, I apologize. This guy is more of a box-to-box fellow.
So, let me see. Can I do that sharing shit on here or not? I think I can. Right, present.
Ooh, getting some screen sharing. Yeah.
Can you see that?
Perfect. Yeah, man.
Right, so you've got Pierre Højbjerg's agent clarifies situation of a player's future to Fabrizio Romano. So the agent has spoken to Romano, and he says, "This year I started working with Pierre, and it was great satisfaction for me to be able to convince a top player for the project I had for him. Pierre has already experienced a lot in his career. He's had great seasons at Tottenham with top coaches like Mourinho and then Conte last year. In the national team, he's a big leader as well," says Luca Puccinelli from the Unique Sports Group in Italy.
Slight dig at Postecoglou there, but that's okay. Leaving him out of that top coach's statement.
And you've got 49 minutes ago, breaking after Ivan Toney has just agreed. After Ivan Toney has just agreed his personal terms with the club, it's expected that he takes the number 14 should the deal not fall through.
Well, that's a big old should, but Should it not? I
He's
would
going
love
to take
him
the
to
number
take
14, but they're giving him a number as well already. They're already announcing a number for him.
He can have it. That's good. I would be over the moon. I don't think that we could get.
Spurs are expected to pay 55 million for the English striker after they first offer of 40 million was rejected.
All right, pay it. I don't know. I'm really like we need a competent striker, and he is absolutely that. And I think Isak would be the perfect striker for us, but that's never going to happen. And I don't think Tony's that much of a downgrade. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Yeah.
That came out 90 minutes ago. There is a reason he's known as the Dragon. Radu Dragusin, everyone.
Yeah.
Chris Cowlin, Radu Dragusin played the full 90 minutes as his country Romania beat Ukraine 3-0. An outstanding performance from the Radu this afternoon. Yeah, this is THC. I've entered in a frame to sign Ricardo Calafiori. Spurs have requested information from Bologna and the defender's entourage about a move. And there is Calafiori there.
Nice. Good hair. Good hair. It's important.
As someone's saying here, 1882 Spurs is saying that Calafiori and Vanderson would sort out the defence for the summer. I still think we're light on the left, unless Van der Ven becomes the left.
Auxiliary, like an auxiliary left back.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Trying to see if there's anything more down here. Reform. Calafiori again. Right. An agreement is close between AC Milan and Tottenham over the signing of Emerson Royale. AC Milan are willing to pay Tottenham's demand of 20 million for Emerson Royale.
All right.
That's 20 million squid, not euro. Right. It's one to keep an eye on.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if some of these other players are going for, around that fee too. That would take a nice sizable chunk. I know Haidara is obviously a midfielder a while. Emerson's a right back. We're going to want to replace him. But, man, that 20 goes pretty far into signing Haidara if we wanted to do that. What else we got?
Trying to see if there's anything else here.
Haidara looks pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. He's exciting.
Let me refresh it, because I refreshed it and that's what we got. Ben says if we get the 20 million for Emerson, the club deserves credit. Chris Peters says Haidara, same build as Sarr. Queen Ellie Hoiberg saying okay, done with a tick. Piss off with a tick. Any other requests? So Ellie's on her way to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. She says she's signing Eze and she's going to meet Daniel Levy. Are there any more requests from people? And Ed M says Steve Hitchin works for Unique.
Is that the same company that? Interesting. I don't know. Interesting, Ed. What is the significance of that?
Right.
I might just be big.
Justin, Tottenham have reached an agreement on personal terms with Ivan Toney. However, Brentford have rejected Spurs' only offer of 40 million. Tony's valuation is 65, but it's understood a 55 million proposal would secure the deal.
Just do it, Daniel. That's what I want Ellie to tell him. Just do it.
There's the Calafiori stuff again. And I don't see anything else. Everything else is what I've said already.
And then just more Dragusin.
Yeah, there's a lot of Dragusin love out there on the shitter today. Yeah, Calafiori again. It's all about Calafiori again. So,
and no smoke without fire. I mean,
there you go. The Dragon, 100% Jules won. 10 clearances, 2 blocks, and 1 interception.
Nice work. I like it.
Yeah, he's done well, the boy. He's done very well, the boy. I can't see anything more in there, so.
Yeah, I think from what I had seen too, I was kind of peeking on my other screen here. I couldn't find anything new myself. I had heard some funky stuff about other teams. I know we don't talk about other teams, and you don't pay attention.
I don't mind speaking about other teams. It don't bother me at all. As I said, this is a football channel, so yeah, predominantly it's Tottenham. But in my Dion or whatever description, it does say that we talk about other teams as well. It's not a problem at all.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so of course, right when I go to talk about it, I forget the dude's name. there's a Everton have a center back we were looking at. What's that kid's name?
Brathwaite.
Sorry, you cut out. What is it?
Brathwaite.
Yeah, and supposedly United are going to pay like a really, really exorbitant fee. United have been looking at him, and they want something like 60 or 70 million for him.
They want 75 million for him, and Man United bid 35 and then to 43 million, and they're prepared to walk away from the deal.
Oh, good. They absolutely should walk away from that deal. I understand that he's young, that he could, become a really good defender, but
no, he's not in the team. Right, Belgium's team, they're playing a 4-2-3-1. It's Castells in goal. The 4 is Carrasco, Debast, Wout Faes, and Castagna. The midfield 2 is Onana and Mangala. And then they've got a 3 behind the striker of Trossard, De Bruyne, Doku, and Lukaku up front.
Is Vertonghen on the bench?
The substitutes are Bakayoko, De Ketelere from AC Milan, Witsel, Lukebikio, Openda, Theti, Tielemans, Veerman, Vertonghen, and Vranks. Arthur Vermeeren. Isn't Arthur Vermeeren the boy, the youngster that Tottenham were looking at last summer, and so were a lot of other clubs, and he ended up going to Saudi?
Honestly, that does
Arthur Vermeeren.
Yeah, that does bring up some memories for me. Let me
it's Vermeeran. Vermeeren. I'm sure that he's a youngster, and he ended up going to Saudi last year. Lots of clubs were looking.
It's a very, very strange career move.
Is he young? In a hype will tell me. Arthur Vermeeren. Am I right, Arthur Vermeeren in a hype? Is he the player that a lot of clubs were looking at last year? He's young still, but he ended up. He played for.
So he was at Antwerp.
Antwerp.
Right?
That's it. He played for Royal Antwerp. He's a youngster.
Yeah, and we were supposed to. They wanted something like 50 million for him.
Right, and he went to. He's gone to Saudi, hasn't he?
Let me see where he plays now.
And he's young. Arthur
definitely
Vermeeren.
young. Yeah, definitely young. But let me see where he plays. It looks like he says he's first football plays for a midfielder for La Liga club, Atletico Madrid, and the Belgian national team.
So Vermeeren's gone to Atletico?
That's what it says, yeah.
Okay, Chris Peters says Atletico, and Ed M says no, he went to Atletico. Okay, I'm really sorry. I thought Vermeeren had gone to Saudi. Or did the Saudis bid for him? I'm sure the Saudis ended up bidding for him, and everyone thought that the Saudis would blow everyone out of the park. But okay, so if he's gone to Atletico, like you boys, I thank you boys for telling me, then he can't have pulled up any trees because I don't recall hearing from him at all season. Have you?
I don't. No, not a thing. Not a thing. I honestly forgot that he was there. So
Slovakia in their defense, and their captain is someone called Milan Skriniar.
That's true.
And in a hypes forward, the number 9 Bozanic is playing. He starts the game.
Damn, he signed on a 6.5-year deal. And only 18 million transfer fee with up to 5 million in add-ons. And
so they got him on
10% sell-on clause.
Yeah, they got him on the cheap then.
Yeah, they really did. They really did. It doesn't say a single thing about his time at Atletico Madrid. 5 appearances, no goals or assists. Interesting.
Yeah, very much so.
He looks like he's from Belgium. He's got that just Belgian-ness to him. He just looks like a Belgian guy. Cool.
He looks like a Belgian guy.
If you look at him, you're like, oh yeah, for sure, he's Belgian. It's like, oh yeah, him, the Belgian one.
So that's the team starting for Belgique in 23 minutes. Their game starts.
Hey.
So, is there anything else you want to discuss today, Colin?
Not a ton. The fact that I think it's kind of crazy that supposedly, this is all supposedly, but De Zerbi I guess he turned down United. United were apparently
He didn't turn
offering
down.
him
He
the
didn't
position.
turn down United. He didn't turn down United. They didn't offer it to him.
Oh, that see, I had heard in a thing I was reading today that he was offered that job, but turned him down, and turned down a host of other clubs apparently.
The only job that he's been offered, as far as I'm aware, and he's accepted. I believe he's in the throes of accepting it. Is
Marseille.
Olympic Marseille.
So what I read today, and it was probably total bullshit. I don't even remember what publication it was from, but said that he basically said that he wanted that 10 million whatever currency, like pay for each year. That's the salary he was trying to make, and that he had turned down a host of clubs and lowered his salary demands to sign with Marseille. But I don't know. Could be full of shit, but interesting if true. But who would want to go to United? I get it. I wouldn't want to go there. You have to really believe in yourself to go to United right now and make them work. I don't know. Let me. Would you take that job, Jose? Would you take the United job? It just seems like everybody that goes there fails. The expectations are too high. It's. I'm surprised that.
But the thing is, right, with Man United, right, and this is I did a show on this on I think it was with you, Colin. I did a show where one of the banners I had is that I'd been listening to or hearing from people in our fan base saying that they believe that the board have got to come out and back publicly back, right? So, and I was saying, well, it's the same as Man United. People, the Man United come out and back Ten Hag publicly. They don't have to. Ten Hag's got a contract, and until Ten Hag will see his contract out, unless Man United want to make a change. So why should Man United come out and say anything? So why should Tottenham feel that why should our fans feel that we need to come out and say something about Postecoglou, right? So, at the end of the day, they've done their end of season report or whatever. If you believe some stories will turn around and say that Man United spoke to other managers and that the other managers didn't get selected or refused them or whatever. I mean, people have talked about De Zerbi, people have talked about Poch, people talked about Ten Hag. Sorry, not Ten Hag, Tuchel. There's a lot of people have been talked about. But the player that remains in position and remains in post is Ten Hag. Man United didn't have to go and do a song and dance about it. They just told Ten Hag, that he's staying, and they've gone to the board, back to the drawing board, and are trying to prepare a new offer to contract him for a further 2 years. Because he's in his last year of his contract. So, at the end of the day, if Man United wanted to make a change, right, and I don't care what people say, Man United are a massive club, right? Globally, they are huge. Man United are a massive, massive club. And if Man United wanted to make a change, and if Man United wanted to bring another manager in, people will jump at the chance of managing Man United. Yeah, regardless, because you're not managing the player because of their infrastructure. Sorry, you're not managing the club because of their infrastructure. You're not managing the club because of the players that they've currently got and stuff like that. You're managing Man United because it's a big, prestigious club. That's why you're going to want to manage Man United. And with their new owners and that, there's a possibility that whoever manages Man United will get some backing. So, at the end of the day, the draw is Manchester United Football Club. It's not their training ground. It ain't their stadium. The draw is Man United Football Club. And at the end of the day, I don't think people turn down Man United. I just think Man United stuck with Ten Hag. End of story for me. I've got Ed M saying to me, I know you're thinking about it. Was the lad at Celta Vigo. I think he's Spanish. Yeah. So Spain's youngster was Gabby Vega. And he was at Celta Vigo and he signed a 3-year deal with a Saudi pro club on the 26th of August last year. Gabby Vega, since he signed, I don't think Gabby Vega he's definitely not with Spain this year. So sometimes when you go for the lure of the dinero, right, it doesn't work out as well because Gabby Vega's not in the Spanish squad and he's touted to be the next best thing, but he's not in the Spanish squad at all. So yeah, you're right.
You got to be playing with the best players if you want to. You know what I mean? If you want your level to be that, you can't
Yeah, so you're right, and then I got confused with Gabby Vega from Celta Vigo. No one wanted De Zerbi, is what Ben's saying. Round table, Nick says he's going to Marseille. I'm pumped. Ben says that Ten Hag hasn't failed. He's won 2 trophies in 2 years. Oh, sorry. NM says here, yeah, Gabby Vega was the lad that went to Saudi. Is correct. If winning 2 trophies is a failure, we need a new word for Tottenham Hotspur. And round Nick says 2 trophies in the worst league finish in the Premier League history. Still 2 trophies is what he was saying. It's still 2 trophies. So yeah. So with Man United are stuck with their manager. The interesting thing for me, I mean, it's still early doors, Colin, but where's Poch going?
Good question. I don't know. Probably, you would think that he would leave England, obviously, and go to, I don't know, maybe back to Spain. Good question. I don't know.
Unless Leicester, I don't think, have Leicester got a manager yet? I didn't think Leicester had a manager.
No, I don't think so. Oh my God, did you see who Brighton appointed?
Yeah, a youngster from Germany, I think.
But guess where he was born?
Go on.
United States of America. But anyway, yeah, he's like 31. That's crazy. Young guy. I mean, Ryan Mason, I think, was younger than that when he was first.
He spent no time in America, though, did he?
No, he didn't.
I was going to say, because he's got a footballing brain, so he must have spent no time in America. I'm joking.
Crushed me.
Sorry.
Hey, it's okay. Sorry. It's okay. You're safe.
No, the reason why is because Jesse Marsh was American and he came over here and he was much maligned by Leeds and everybody else, and he didn't last long. But I think this fella went through. Didn't he come from Germany?
Yeah.
He might have been born in America, but did he live in Germany all his life or something?
He did. Yeah.
And he played out in Germany, but he must have got injured young because he's now become a manager. So.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, all I've seen is just things talking about how young he is. Basically, I don't know really much. Born in America. Hold on. He impressed as manager of St. Pauli and guided them to the Bundesliga 2 title last season.
So that's the second division.
Yeah.
So we have Ben the paparazzi saying winning the FA Cup with the amount of injuries they had should be treated as a massive success. Then he says Poch is going to Tottenham in November to December.
No.
And then he also says Graham Potter is going to Leicester.
Damn, dude. All right. Let me get some bets in. I'm shaking my whole desk. Sorry. But yeah, I'm going to get some bets in on that, Ben.
You got that. Any other news that you wanted to talk about?
No, I don't think so. Those are the ones I thought were pretty crazy. I mean, there's just stupid stuff. Just I like seeing it, who other teams are looking at. But yeah, Bayern Munich supposedly have a deal agreed for João Palhinha, but I don't think Ryan's here to ask. But yeah, supposedly
Ryan's Wolves, not Fulham.
Why did I think that Palhinha was at Wolves? Who's the Wolves midfielder that everybody's bidding for? That everyone really wants.
No one's bidding for him, but the one that the Wolves are prepared to let go apparently is Neto.
Okay, well, interesting. Well, do you think João Palhinha to Barcelona makes sense?
Yeah.
I do. For the fee, it looks like it's going to be like 45, 50, and that's Euro. That's Euro though.
But like I said to you, right, and I said this before, it's amazing that when English clubs get involved, right? When English clubs get involved, the money's mental because people were talking about 60, 70, 80, 90 million for Palhinha. The Germans have come in and they get him for 40 or something ridiculous like that. So it's just absolutely mental. Germans don't overpay. They never do. So, at the end of the day, when we're looking...
And he just signed a new contract at Fulham, too, from what I'm seeing. So that is an especially low price. Interesting.
So at the end of the day, like I said, it's just madness. That's what I keep saying about Italian clubs trade with each other, Spanish clubs trade with each other, German clubs, French clubs. They all trade with each other, and they don't put, in Spain, if you're trading between, I don't know, Sevilla and it can be any team, but let's say Sevilla and Real Madrid, they don't say, we'll trade the player, right, but we're going to add Spanish tax to it. In Germany, you don't get Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund doing a deal and say, we're going to put German tax on it. So you don't get that anyway. It's just bloody here in England, and the English tax, and the English tax. It's absolutely bonkers and madness that we have this in this country. Because, you know, at the end of the day, other teams manage to do deals at far less values than what the English clubs do. It's just mind-boggling. It's just madness, absolute madness.
Yeah, I don't really understand. I don't really understand it, but there you go. They know the money's there. They want a piece. That's the only explanation I can think of. Do you have a better one?
No, it's just like I said. For me, it's just absolute madness. Mental.
Yep, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, so Daniel Coyser said, interesting. The year we won the League Cup in 2008, do people remember that we finished 11th? No, they remember the FA Cup win. It's about trophies at the end of the day. And Edem says his father was in the military. Brandon Austin,
sense.
I think they're talking about. Because he says, Nick says, I think Brandon Austin is half American.
Makes sense why he doesn't play. Oh, just kidding.
Edem is saying, still no new contract for Ten Hag, and Southgate is probably available after. Please do it. Brexit, Jim. I need a good laugh. Audio is saying to me, what are the rules in the league regarding squad quota? Exactly the same as what they are over here, Audio. I think you find that in places like Spain, Italy, Germany, every other country apart from England, I think you'll find that they've got more than 7 players. You know, here a squad of 25, you have to have 8 of them have to be English or whatever. I think that you'll find in Spain that they don't have them problems, and in Italy and in Germany, you find that the majority of their squads are probably going to be their own players, their own nationality players, with a sprinkling of a few foreign players. But the majority of their squads, you know, are their own nationals. I mean, you look at Spain. I think Spain, apart from Rodri, Cucurella, Dani Olmo, and a few others, they play outside of La Liga. The rest of them play in La Liga. The Italians, the majority of the Italian squad play in La Liga. The Germans, yeah, the Germans have got some that play out in Europe. But if you look at Bayern Munich, you look at teams like Real, you look at teams like Inter Milan, and look how many Italians they've got in their team, and look how many Spanish they've got in their team, look how many Germans they've got in their team, and then you look in their squads as well. Like, these teams don't seem to have the problems that we've got here because they have more players that coming through, and possibly over time they've had more players of better quality coming through that end up staying with their clubs and then go on from there. So I don't think that they've got the issues that you have here with some teams, not all teams, but with some teams that you have here in England, us being one of them. So, and then you got Inner Hype says St. Pauli won Bundesliga 2. Marcel Hurtel got 17 goals and 13 assists from central midfield. What a free that is for a 2-footed player. Yeah. Sorry, Marcel Hartel. Yeah. Hartel. Marcel Hartel. Right. So with that, I haven't got much more to say, to be honest.
No. I'm just about out
right,
of things.
Colin, what time are you coming? What time are you going tomorrow?
So I'm going to be on tomorrow at 6 p.m. your time in the world, 6 p.m.
So people, watch out for. Is it a members show?
It is. It is going to be a members call-in show.
So is the thumbnail going up today?
The thumbnail is up right now.
Fantastic. So please head over to Talk and Ball tomorrow, 6 p.m. BST for a members show. So if you're a member, you get to come on the show and speak to the delightful Colin.
And that's
And-
noon over here in Central Time, which would make it 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Yeah, you guys can figure it out from there.
And it'll make it 7 o'clock in the evening. Oh, sorry, 6 p.m. for me is 11 o'clock in the evening for the Aussies.
It's not too bad.
Midnight for some of the Aussies, and for Dakaru it'll make it 1 in the morning.
I'll make it worth it for you guys if you stay
So
up.
for David it'll be 11, and if you've got Dakaru, because I know that David's a member, Dakaru comes on, he's a member. So David will be on. David for Dakaru it'll be 1 o'clock. For David it'll be 11. For you Yankee Doodle dandies, it's 11 midday and 1 p.m. or something like that for you Yankee Doodle dandies. So you can all join because Colin's got the Yankee Doodle fan base as well. And then for us Europeos, it's 6 and 7 o'clock in the evening. 6 BST, 7 for the majority of the other people that come and watch you from countries that are only an hour ahead and not any further than that in Europe. But yeah, so head over to Cole tomorrow, 6 p.m. Talking ball. Any final words before we close off?
My usual. Be good to everyone around you. Be good to yourself, most importantly. And yeah, take care of yourself. As Jose always says, health is important. So take good care of yourself, mentally and physically, everybody.
And then with me, without a shadow of a doubt, it's come on, you Spurs. In hands we trust. We still ain't signed no one. To continue, we still wait, and we've got to get rid of some players as well. Hopefully, who knows? We might have some different news this week. But the Euros are keeping us entertained. So whatever we say, there is football for the next month. So with that, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.